DC Sports Radio and DCSportsRadio.com. What's up? It's Mark Jason. Tuesday, August the 4th, our webcast today. Some stuff that we will get to in a second. CP26, Clinton Portis, staying quiet this year in training camp. It's like, bro, can we take your temperature? Is everything cool? We'll get to that, why he's been so quiet this year. The offensive line, it's been the low light, although we kind of expected it. But what's the highlight in the low light? Some news on Chad Reinhardt. Chad Reinhardt stepping up? What? Yeah. NFC, the Beast, a couple of items out of there that are kind of interesting. And who would be your Redskin wingman? If you're going out to the bars, hitting the clubs, who would be the one Redskin you would take with you to get all torn up with? We'll get to that in a second. Clinton Portis, quiet this year. You know, I was thinking about this the other day. Clinton Portis and Fred Smoot, probably the two guys who every year in training camp, it's just like blah, 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 blah. And hilariously entertaining. I mean, you love these guys because they leave it all on the field, but then training camp comes, and it's like, I mean, we're doing costumes, you know, we're racing other players, you know, and who knows what's on the line for that. We're talking smack this year. I don't know. Have we heard 10 words out of Clinton Portis and Fred Smoot? Fred Smoot, I understand. Fred Smoot's kind of like, you know, he went to Minnesota and then the Love Boat. And I think his whole thing coming back was like, you know what, I kind of got to be a different person. I got to grow up. But Clinton Portis, I mean, last year, you know, we went through this training camp, him and LeRon and the whole deal, which I think was mostly playful. Then, of course, we got into the season. Everything looked good. But then him and Zorn and the big fallout, starting in the Ravens game and some carryover into some other games. But you really don't see him saying a lot of anything this year. And looking like Clinton Portis always has in training camp. I mean, he goes out, he goes through the motions. You know he's not hitting it 100%. It's Clinton Portis. So maybe you should say, why would he? Does he really need to? But I was thinking about this. I mean, you look at the injuries. You look at what he's been asked to do. Denver, when he was there, I mean, it's running back by committee. I mean, I'd say he was the feature back, but it was still running back by committee. I mean, they give their fullbacks 10 carries a game. At least they used to with Shanahan. I'm thinking Clinton Portis has 2 to 3 years left of being the feature back, the workhorse for the Redskins. 2 to 3 years left. I could see him doing 3 years if he stays relatively injury-free, but that's just tough for him to do with the workload that's required year in and year out, especially in the NFC. What's his legacy going to be? What will his legacy be right now if he were to walk away from football right now? Okay, well, he comes out of college from the U, goes to Denver, and I think he was like one of like 10 backs ever to have like 3,000 or 3,500 rushing yards in his first 2 seasons. It's something like that, and it's an elite group. I mean, there are some badass names on that list, and he is one of them. But after that, really what happens? I mean, he comes to the Redskins, true workhorse. I mean, really, Joe Gibbs kind of brings him in as listen, you're going to be my younger, smaller, and blacker John Riggins. And he's done an awesome job. I mean, he's really done an awesome job. Played through just some painful injuries. But then, you know, towards the end of it, then what happens? He gets hurt in the preseason with the shoulder a couple years ago. Kind of, sort of goes off at why he needed to play in preseason. Kind of, sort of. He was pretty gentle with it. But then again, you're dealing with Joe Gibbs. I mean, what can you come out and really say? So he questions that mildly. Then Zorn comes in. He totally bucks the new system. I mean, he doesn't like what he's doing. He doesn't like what the offense is doing. You know, it's 3rd down and goal from the 1, and he's not getting the ball. And I can maybe sometimes understand that frustration. But what would his legacy be now? A guy who came out who was great, lost a dear friend and brother, Sean Taylor. That certainly had to affect him and everybody who knew Sean. But what would his legacy be? I mean, a guy who just worked really hard, but, you know, kind of got confused, kind of got frustrated with his coaches. I think that's why Clinton Portis is staying quiet. His legacy would be very, very cloudy. Hardworking guy, probably a good guy, started to get a little bitter and went away. And I think he's trying to prevent that. And I don't think Clinton, by the way, is that kind of person. But the media loves to go after flashy guys on the field, and make them kind of flashy off the field. Clinton Portis staying quiet, I think, is aware the 2 to 3 years left, and what will his legacy be? He started off so awesome. In the middle of a career, was real solid. But if you start reading into what's been happening the last couple of years, the legacy probably wouldn't be deserving of the work he's put in. I think he realizes this is his year. Next year is his year. They've got to go. He's got to go deep. Championship game, Super Bowl win, 2,000 yards. And I'm glad to see it because I think Clinton Portis is a hell of an athlete. All right, the offensive line. Listen, this has just been brutal. We knew it was kind of going to be brutal. Am I still confused at the John Jansen trade? Yeah, kind of. I mean, geez, kind of. I mean, listen, if they came out blowing out the D-line and putting Hainsworth on their ass and Jarman and making Arakpo look like he was still a sophomore, I'd say, yeah, it's best trade ever or best release ever. I don't know. But Chad Reinhardt been stepping up, and that kind of scares me in a sense because Randy Thomas, I'm feeling, is not 100%. Coming back off the injuries to Randy Thomas, and I'm feeling he is not 100%. But I like what I've seen from Reinhardt, and I think what I like is the coach's confidence in him. Whereas last year they were like, bro, you don't even have to suit up. I mean, we'll get you a ticket. You can come to the game, or we'll call DirecTV and we'll get you the Sunday ticket. I mean, they were even scared to put him on the team bus and a plane. But this year, he's in the mix, doing okay. I like Chad Reinhardt, second-year guy. And I think the confidence, maybe he's the kind of guy that just needed the confidence. I'm a little nervous about Randy Thomas, and I don't know if Randy Thomas is gonna be a full-time guy. God, I hope so. All right, the NFC, the Beast, some news. Stuart Bradley from the Eagles, middle linebacker, gone, and we'll see ya. Torn ACL. I mean, you hate to see somebody get hurt, but as long as they're not playing for us, I can be pretty cool with it. Andy Reid went on a tirade. We'll get to more of this later on this afternoon. Just went on a tirade of the press corps about reporting it. He wanted to be the one to announce it. Well, Andy, get with 2009, bro. We got Twitter, we got Facebook, we got MySpace, we got text messaging. I mean, something goes down, someone lets someone else know about it, and that's it. I call it diarrhea of the technologies. It just keeps going and going. Andy Reid not happy about that. Some good news, I guess, for the Eagles. I don't think this makes a difference. Jeremy Maclin, their wide receiver that they've drafted. Where'd he go? Missouri. He signed for the Eagles a week late in the camp, and I don't see this being a difference maker. I think he might be a solid guy down the road, pretty good receiver. But I don't think he comes in his first year and blows it up. Watch that come back to bite me in the ass. For the Giants, former Giant Plaxico Burress indicted on 3 gun charges. He is in trouble. No charges, for Antonio Pierce. I thought we could at least get a 2-game suspension for that, and we wouldn't have to deal with them first game of the season. But what the hell? I guess if you're going to beat the G-Man, let's beat him with everybody. And Eric, I got to say thanks to Eric Jessup from Facebook for pimping us out, throwing us out on his page. We appreciate that, Eric, as we get DC Sports Radio up and going. He made a good point. We're not corporate. This is just kind of a thing we're getting going, kind of a grassroots thing. We know a lot of the players. We know a lot of the skin staffers. So, we just thought it was kind of cool to get a non-corporate approach, say some things you can't say on the radio and have some fun. We're going to run out of time for what Redskin would be your wingman. What Redskin, if you could pick one Redskin to go to the bar and just get all effed up with one night, who would it be? I'm down to a minute because we've got to keep these things to 10 minutes or less. Who would it be? Send us a Facebook or a Twitter or an email. You can email us, dcsportsradio@gmail.com. Facebook, you can search my name, Mark Jason, M-A-R-C, Jason, or you can search DC Sports Radio, and we're on Twitter, twitter.com/DC Sports Radio. Andy Reid would have a heart attack if we were pimping out all these technologies. That comes from me. I give the announcement. Jesus Christ. What grumpy old Andy Reid. What Redskin would be your wingman for a night if you could pick one? You got a designated driver, so it's just you and that Redskin. You can go to any bar you want, any club you want. You can drink whatever you want. What Redskin would it be and why? Send us an email, send us a Facebook, and we will touch on that later this afternoon or tomorrow. Mine? I don't want to say who mine would be yet. I want to get other people's. Yeah, I want to get It's DC Sports Radio. Thank you for supporting us in this very ghetto, off-the-ground, lift-off, launch, whatever. We'll try to do better very soon. Talk to you later.